The infant wakes up scratched. Looking at the nanny cam, Mom notices this. She installed a night vision camera because she was determined to find out who or what caused the marks on her daughter's body. But what she was about to record would make her modest, charming abode a frightening nightmare. She could still make out the shadow in the grainy video. As she watched him go about her little girl's room, her heart was racing. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. With their 1-year-old daughter Lily, Joshua Higgins and Heather Broth had been residing at Joshua's mother's guest house for more than a year. They cherished the home until they felt the need to flee it one day. It all started one morning when Heather discovered scratches on her baby's face and arms after taking her out of the cot. She didn't give the scratches much thought at first. She was aware that infants often scratch themselves as they slept. She sensed something wasn't right, though, when the initial set of wounds healed, and she discovered more new markings and scratches on her daughter's body. The markings did not appear to be anything her infant could have made by mistake. Many people who knew Heather and Joshua thought they were enjoying the American dream. They had a really cute baby daughter, lived in a lovely house, and had a stable and loving relationship. However, everything changed one day. Heather showed her husband their baby's scratches. She wanted to know what he believed it to be. Heather didn't accept his theory that it was just her scratching herself. Heather then started to hear strange noises around the home one night while she was sleeping. Such thumps on the flooring, footsteps in the kitchen, and the screeching of a door. Going back to bed, she assumed it was her husband, but it wasn't. Heather questioned Joshua if he had gotten up yesterday night the next day. She inquired whether he had visited Lily's nursery to see how she was doing. She didn't trust him when he claimed he didn't. Inquiring about if he was sleepwalking once more, she cautiously questioned him on the scratches on their daughter. She was accusing him, at least in his imagination, of harming his own daughter. She asked such a terrible question, and he snapped at her and walked out of the room. Nevertheless, Heather persisted in her investigation because she was certain that something strange was occurring, not realizing that what she was going to find was far worse. Her husband may be concealing something, but she knew him, so her paranoia took over. He wouldn't tell her lies. What then was it if he wasn't the genuine culprit? She always made sure that all the windows and doors were shut at night, so it couldn't have been an animal. There was only one possibility to explain the odd scratching and sounds. Someone or something was already inside their house. Since she had accused Joshua of sleepwalking, their relationship had been hostile. After apologizing, she bought a baby monitor to keep an eye on the infant's crib rather than engaging in more speculation. Heather sensed that something wasn't right. Even though Joshua remained sure that Lily was scratching herself, it could not have been her, as she usually made sure her baby's nails were well trimmed. Then the CCTV showed them both to be unprepared for the truth. Her goal in installing the night vision camera was to identify the culprit behind her daughter's body scratches. She was determined to solve this puzzle. Their charming little cottage was transformed into a horror when she eventually viewed the footage. She noticed a man's form in Lily's nursery. The video was grainy, so she couldn't see who it was, but she knew the shadow wasn't a man. Heather's thoughts immediately turned to Joshua. It was true what she believed. He was sleepwalking. But wait, why hadn't he mentioned anything to her? For what reason was he hiding it? In an attempt to learn more, she watched the remaining tape. But what she saw next made her shudder. What was she examining? An adult guy passed her daughter's cot in the blurry footage. Lily sprang to her feet, conscious that there was a visitor in the room, and curiously glanced around. Heather eventually realized that the man was not who she had assumed it was when he turned to face the camera. Realizing this man was a stranger, her heart began to thud harder and louder. She kept watching the horrifying video. The guy was still prowling Lily's chamber. Heather felt her gut clench. This man, who was he? She kept playing the video, focusing on the scene where the man passes Lily and turns fully translucent. Ghost, she thought, and a cold sensation went through her body. She drew Lily in closer. They had to go, and she had to inform Joshua. Joshua added that he found the clip to be chilling. You felt as though you were being shivered, as in, what a factor is this, what I just saw? Lily's face covered in scratches was really strange and terrifying to see. Heather stated she was in tears. "How did things go for you?" I hurried over to my mother-in-law's house and grabbed her jacket. What transpired was unknown. We questioned whether she had cut herself, but when we compared her hands to the marks, they did not match. Joshua's face was pale and his gut twisted with anxiety after seeing the footage. He needed to leave the place as soon as possible with his family. He was utterly afraid. He phoned the police right away after running out the door with Lily and Heather, gasping, and they sent him to the Scientific Paranormal Investigations of Michigan. He was shocked even more by what they discovered. Scientific Paranormal Investigations of Michigan co-owner Mike Priest dispatched a crew right away to look into the Highland house. However, what they found only strengthened Heather and Joshua's resolve to leave. They came to the conclusion that the main home and the guest house that was linked to it may indeed be haunted after going over the available evidence. Strange things had happened at the house before. In an interview, Heather stated, "One morning when I woke up to get ready for work, it felt like someone was choking me. I was so shaken by it that I made the decision to get a camera." Because she knew Joshua wouldn't believe her, she hadn't informed him about the event. "My fiancé and I have occasionally woken up to the sound of an irate male voice, as if someone had stubbed their toe," she continued. In order to continue their inquiry into the paranormal, Mike Priest and his crew plan to return to the residence shortly. He wants to know precisely what was captured on camera in Lily's room that evening. Before classifying the video as evidence of paranormal activity, he clarifies that their objective is to either duplicate the tape or come up with a reasonable explanation. Chris, Joshua's mother, who has lived in the house for 11 years, could be able to provide some insight on the identity of the potential haunter. Chris remarked, "I was informed when we purchased the houses 11 years ago that the lady who owned the property passed away in the main house. Her niece claims that she shattered her hips falling down the steps of the ancient farmhouse and lay there for a very long time before she died. According to her, the guest home was constructed for the lady's insane brother." Jim, Joshua's father, however, has a different idea. Jim is certain that the man frightening Heather and Joshua was formerly the guest house's occupant. "This window is one story down and the gentleman who lived here originally jumped out of it," he said. Heather and Joshua know what to do, even though they are no closer to discovering who is skulking about their infant's chamber at night. "We find it frightening because it may." Heather said, "It's not just going after her physically. It seems as though it is targeting me as well. We're itching to get away from here as soon as possible. There is a spirit here. It may have good intentions, but right now it's starting to get dangerous." However, not everybody is in agreement. There are some doubters despite the fact that Heather and Joshua's social media video went viral overnight and left many viewers feeling quite uneasy. Some individuals feel that the person in the video is much more likely to have a very straightforward explanation than that it is an apparition at all. Paranormal investigator Kenny Biddle speculates, saying, "I would surmise either Heather and/or Joshua had been watching television and had reason to get up out of bed, perhaps go down to the kitchen for a drink, food, or a visit to the bathroom, paused the video and walked across the room, not realizing they were being recorded." He went on, "They viewed the video at a later undisclosed time and, not knowing anything about video cameras, concluded the distorted figure was a ghost." However, how can he explain Lily's scratches? Apart from the technological difficulties, babies frequently scrape themselves. According to Heather's claims, we know that she found the marks after awakening the infant from a nap, Kenny wrote. Then, When Kenny read the tale more closely, he found something intriguing. "I have my suspicions, but I'm not exactly sure what the motivation is behind these claims," he added. "Earlier today, I visited Heather Broth's Facebook page and saw that she had shared her first public message since November 2018. The message contained a link to a GoFundMe page she had set up on March 26, 2019, with a $5,000 target. For what purpose was this used? Kenny clarified that her daughter's safety from all the paranormal activity was the primary motivation for the fundraiser, stating that she was requesting this much to assist her in leaving the guest house. Subsequently, his concerns concerning, Kenny sent Heather a direct Facebook message. He wanted to speak with her personally to learn more about this situation. He added, Hello, my name is Kenny Biddle, and for the past 20-plus years, I have been researching paranormal claims. I saw your video that several paranormal organizations shared of what appears to be a ghost roaming about your house. After seeing it, I started to wonder if there was more of a tape. Maybe there was video of the few minutes that were shown before and after the clip that ABC Action News posted. The figure is moving as the shared film begins. Therefore, I was hoping to find out where it comes from. We're curious to see how she will react. However, what are your thoughts? Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.